What's up, guys? It's Shuei here, and I'm going to do a rec review for a player that I'm coaching. This guy's a Diamond 1 player, and I'm going to watch back his record game, break it down, give him tips, help him improve. If you guys are interested in coaching, you can message me on YouTube, Discord, or Twitch. And basically, when I do rec reviews, it's just $5. You can donate $5, and I'll watch back when your games break down, give you tips. That's what this is going to be. And then I do like $25 per hour for coaching and potentially group coaching in the future. So yeah, if you guys are interested in coaching, let me know. By far, it's the best way to improve, the fastest way to improve. If you want to make the most out of your time, coaching for sure is the way to go. I'm Conqueror 3 player. I've been Conqueror 3 every season. And yeah, so let's get into it. We got an Ottoman mirror here, and this is like Diamond 1 versus Diamond 1 players. So yeah, let's take a look at Legend here. He's playing purple as Ottoman, playing a Gorge Ottoman mirror. So he does a far gathering of stone to build a military school, which is good. I taught him this opening. And then yeah, let's see how his play is here. So he now goes to the gold, pretty standard stuff. I'm not going to go over like his opening too much, but basically with Ottoman, you'll send your 5 starting villagers to far gather stone to get 50 stone out of mining camp, which then allows you to build a military school. And then you just have to gather a little bit of wood after that, so you can build a lumber camp. You put like 2 or 3 villas onto gold. And yeah, pretty like textbook here. He's using 4 villagers. You either use like 4 or 5 villagers to build this landmark. I like the location. It's good. You want to build it away from the berries, because sometimes the villagers will, if you build it next to the berries, the villagers will like go onto the regular berries, which gather very slowly compared to these berries. So this is good building location. I don't like that he's using a villager here to build a house, because now it's slowing down his age up even more. I usually put 5 on the landmark, not 4. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but it's okay. He's just gathering from the straggler trees, which is okay. Just gotta make sure you shift click them so they don't like actually accidentally go to this forest. You want them to go to that next forest over there. So Spearman, it's Ottoman mirror, so the opponent has defender's advantage, so you gotta be careful of that. You do not want to lose the Spearman, because you're Ottoman, you're gonna get the monks to heal, so it's really important not to lose any units ever. Here you could like use this Spearman that's full HP to attack, try to distract these 2 Spearmen so that the low HP one can get away, because if this low HP one dies, it's really bad. Use the full HP guy to tank. Okay, this is where that's really bad. See, that's a good example. You should have used the full HP Spearman to attack the other ones, and it would at the very least get hits in on them or distract the 2 Spearmen, and the 2 Spearmen would attack the full HP one instead of the low HP Spearman. So losing the Spearman, very bad. And then even here, these 2 Spearmen went underneath TC range. And you put it, I mean, you didn't really have too many builds around, but you could maybe put like your Spearman inside the TC to get extra arrows, or this one villager could have hopped inside TC, could have optimized that damage a little bit more. He does lose a Spearman, which is also very bad by him. So yeah, I mean, even mistakes, you guys both losing Spearman for no reason. But yep, not good. He's an open archer range. I don't like opening archer range, especially you need a lot of wood to. And now he's open. I don't like opening 2 military buildings. I kind of told him this before. I wouldn't already have a mining camp on your stone right now, and I would be prioritizing gathering for your next military school. I would rather see him build 1 stable, so you could go like military school, stable, and then maybe blacksmith. But I would have like 2 villagers gathering stone right now with a mining camp. I don't like those doing 2 military buildings, especially not in archer range, because archers are going to be a heavy wood cost, which is going to put your military school back even later. Yeah, it's not a fan of that. Yeah, see, this guy's already getting stone, which I like. He's maybe going like 2 heavy on stone, unless if he's going like fast second TC or something. But yeah, I don't like that he's going 2 military buildings before his second military school. And yeah, he's gathering stone very late, which I'm not a fan of. And then see, like, his 2 military buildings are both idled. Like, he just wasted wood on like 2 military buildings, but they're basically idled. I mean, now he keeps units up. I mean, okay, they're training stuff right now. Here you could get wheelbarrow. I kind of talked to him before about like when to get eco upgrades, and I think he's kind of has the mindset of like, all right, let's break it down to science, and do I get wheelbarrow first, or do I get the wood upgrade first? And it's good to know those things. Like, you should get the wood upgrade as soon as you get H2 with Ottoman, and it's good to have those like build order knowledge of when to prioritize what. But this is a perfect example of when spending your resources is correct, and going away from like the exact science of, oh, you need to get wheelbarrow at 7 minutes and 15 seconds, like that type of stuff. Right now he has the resources for wheelbarrow. And it's just sitting in his bank doing absolutely nothing. So there's no reason not to research a wheelbarrow right now, right? Like, there's no way to spend your gold. You don't want to get a blacksmith upgrade this early. Like, just... I probably would not typically research wheelbarrow this early myself, but since you have the exact resources for it, you should then research the upgrade. All right, there's no reason not to research wheelbarrow right now. So, yep, not researching wheelbarrow. Yeah, huge mistake. Like, the resources are just sitting in his bank doing absolutely nothing when, like, he could just have the upgrade, right? Or even like horticulture, right? You could get horticulture. You have a bunch of villagers on sheep and berries. Like, you're just floating a bunch of resources for no reason. Like, I would do wheelbarrow first, but then you could do horticulture. Like, obviously those are the upgrades you'd want to do. I mean, you can maybe do like specialized pick if you want, but I would prioritize wheelbarrow and horticulture over specialized pick because you only have like a few of those on gold/stone. And then yeah, I don't like this. Stop going on to deer this early. This is really bad. You have plenty of plenty of food. No reason to go on to a deer this early. It's just making you're having to spend 100 wood on an outpost, 50 wood on a mill. If villagers are walking, they're not gathering, they're building buildings for quite some time. Like, you're going to be losing out on a lot of resources at 7 minutes. Like, this is really bad. You're not running out of sheep anytime soon, right? Yeah, you're just going there a little bit too early. Yeah, like, you should be having a second military school by now. You should be having wheelbarrow already. I don't like that he's going out to the... Yeah, it's a little bit too soon, right? I mean, you still got like 4 sheep alive. You still got a lot of sheep. It's not horrible, but I mean, he's moving 5 out. It's a little early for my liking, just because like you're spending the resource on these buildings, which like the fact that the main thing is you don't have second military school this late is like, you know, really bad. Obviously now you have the resource, so you could drop it, but not horrible, but a little bit early for my likings. But now that you're on hunt, you should research survival techniques. You could be aggressive. You got to be a little careful. I mean, it's fine, but he's got defender's advantage. Just take note of that. You don't have any blacksmith upgrades in yet, so I don't like that you're being aggressive. It's a mirror, like, yeah, you can maybe scout. You just went on hunt, so there's a chance, like, he could be going on hunts. I mean, those are things to look out for, but, you know, you could just send, like, a single Spahi here. Imagine if one Spahi shows up here and just, you know, kills the Stoneville. Or the really good things here is, like, don't just try to fight. Don't fight here. Instead, have your main army back sitting here, but then have all, like, 7 Spahi and your scout come around this way and then dive the wood line. Like, that's really good. Diving the wood line would be amazing, especially at these lower ELOs. And it's like, you don't need to have vision of your opponent to know where his villagers are. And I'll explain that, right? You could essentially have map pack, especially when it's a mirror, right? Like, you could look at your own eco and you see, oh, I have like 15 villas on wood. So without scouting, without having any vision, you know that your opponent is gathering wood right here with like at least 10 villas, right? You don't need to see this with your eyes to know that villagers are right here. So that's a perfect example of where you could grab like 8 Spahi, come around, try to maybe avoid the buildings so you can't see your Spahi, and then you can even like come from the back here and then very quickly charge in on the wood villas, probably kill like 3 villas in the process, and then immediately run away, and boom, that's a completely game-changing raid at like 8 minutes or 9 minutes. No survival techniques, you know, not good. You're on hunt, you get survival techniques. This is just a really bad fight. Like, you're fighting for no reason here. There we go. You send the single spy raid is very good. You're gonna get a bill kill, which is nice. I mean, you should just back up here. You could research arrow slits here. I like researching arrow slits and playing defensive. It can give you a lot of value. Like, this is really bad. Back up. There's no reason to fight. Like, why are you just fighting for no reason? Back up to your tower, and then also you could just have your army sitting here, and while your army's sitting here, you can like push the deer closer to the mill, kill the deer like on top of the mill with your archers, and you're just like taking a fight for no reason. Yeah. If you don't have any blacksmith upgrades, he has double pierce armor and pierce damage. You don't have any blacksmith upgrades, and you're just like taking a fight for no reason. You could replace your lumber camp here. You have way too much stone right now, like way too much. You do have your second military school in, but yeah, you gotta take the villagers off of stone. get your pierce armor and pierce damage. You got to prioritize those. You could send spot here on for raid. The best thing to do in general in AO4 is to defend and to raid, right? Like you can have less units and defend here, and then just always have like 2 spy at every point in the game. Have like 2 or 3 spy just constantly hitting his wood line at all times. And you know, unfortunately, you didn't finish off these villas. There's like 2 villas with 2 HP. But yeah. Yeah, like back up. This is where you get arrow slits. Like the opponent's obviously being aggressive. Arrow slits would be amazing right here. It could give you a lot of value. Like you had another example of like you have the resources, so why not get it? I would even get fortified outposts here, which you generally wouldn't recommend getting it, but like you have the resources, so just spend it. And you can see that he's trying to be aggressive, so. Arrow slits would be very good here. You could like use it to snipe the methers. Also, you don't have any of the mether dudes, which is really bad. So when you build a military school, you gotta remember to always have 1 military school on the mether training, so that you constantly have 1 in your army at all times. Not having that in your army is really really bad. You're putting your villagers inside tower like way too late, so you know losing some builds in the process. Arrow slits would have been huge in this fight, right? And it could have been like shooting away at his army the whole time. Instead, you're just like floating like almost 400 stone for no reason. Gotta get them pierce armor and pierce damage upgrades. But I mean, gameplay's starting to look pretty good. Like you should. This guy's improving. Like he should be sitting at diamond. I think the guy he played versus is like an old Conquer 1 player, or like maybe an old Conquer player. So I think he's got a tough opponent. But yeah, you're playing good enough to a point where like you should consistently be in diamond. You shouldn't really drop back to platinum. Like you should be diamond. It's like diamond 2 level gameplay. Yeah, good potential to get, you know, try to make pushes towards like Conquer 1 eventually. But yeah, just clean up stuff a little bit, and overall you're playing pretty decent. There we go, a huge raid. So you just killed like 8 villas. This is where try not to waste time on this. You just got a massive raid, but what's better, killing a mill that is 50 wood or diving this wood line? And you know this is a perfect example. His entire army's right here, so try to ignore the mill and just dive this wood line. Right now you're taking about maybe 12-15 seconds to kill this mill, where if you didn't attack the mill, the Spahi would probably be right here right now, and you would get like at least 5 more vill kills, and he would idle his entire villagers instead of you killing a building that costs 50 wood. Right? What's more valuable, killing a building that costs 50 wood, or killing like 5 hills and idling all of his wood line? Alright, so here he's hard pushing your base. You just gotta like let the buildings die. It just is what it is. You can't take the fight. Let the buildings die. There you go. Now you have the wood line, which is really good. You know, you could have just done it a little bit sooner. You got a ton of build kills. So right now, at this point, you're ahead in eco like massively, but you're behind in military. So you want to stretch the game out as long as it can possibly go, and you want to delay fights. This is where things like towers become in handy really good. You want to build towers a lot because they're sort of like military units. So you want to basically like turtle and try to avoid fights. Any fight that happens should happen underneath your town center or underneath like a bunch of towers. And you can get, you know, arrow slits, you can upgrade towers, but yeah, that's the whole idea now. You're significantly ahead in economy. So you want to stretch the game out. Here, just try to retreat here because he has a ton of units. You should run with these villas that are in the tower. Like, you're gonna lose 2 villas for no reason, which is a mistake. But yeah, like you can maybe drop some towers. Just keep. Yeah, I mean, right now there's not like an obvious place to drop a tower, but it's good that you're keeping your army like way back here. I don't know if you have villas. You might have villas inside TC. Definitely get them out if those are villas. I mean, this is good. You're still like hard diving his base with Swahi. Like, this is fine. Like, you're killing a ton of villas. This is good. Like, really good. You can maybe I mean, this is fine. You can maybe micro it a tiny better to make sure Spy are like constantly attacking. Make sure you're not doing fortitude, which is really bad. They would all be attacking 4% quicker. Like, you would have gotten. I'm not sure if you did fortitude in any of the raids, but when you raid, you have to activate fortitude with all the spies. They're going to give way more value. But either way, like, you're playing this very well, and this is like I taught him this recently, where if you have a mobile army, you can counter attack their eco if they're diving you, and this is like a very high skill thing. There's like a Conqueror 2, like Conqueror 1, Conqueror 3 thing is like, you know, diving people's economy and stuff like that. So like very impressive. That's really good. So now, yeah, you're massively ahead in economy, massively ahead. The only way you lose this game is if you lose in the next like 2 minutes. Obviously he's very far ahead in military, but yeah, you just have to delay the fight for as long as possible. You're gonna, any fight that happens, you're gonna have like 15 villagers inside the TC, having TC help out. You might build some towers, but yeah, let them kill military buildings. If you can't defend the buildings, let the buildings die. It's right now it's just about delaying the fights for as long as possible, because every second that goes by you're gathering like double the amount of resources that he's gathering. So you just want to delay this. Don't attack. What are you doing? The whole point is we're delaying this forever, right? So this makes no sense. You're now going to the opponent, which just obviously makes zero sense. You're ahead like 20 villas. You're trying to delay the fights. You're not trying to start the fights. So this just, yeah, this makes no sense. And you're not like fighting underneath the tower. Like, yeah, I don't know. That was a very weird click. And you're chasing, this just makes zero sense. Like you're initiating a fight when you're massively ahead in economy. Doesn't make any sense at all. And he is a much larger military. So this is just really weird. This is just a game losing decision. Not much to say. Doesn't make any sense. And yep, I mean, it doesn't matter how good or bad this fight goes. It doesn't matter how your micro is. Just the decision to fight here doesn't make any sense at all. You're like 20 villagers ahead, so yeah, why are you fighting? Horrible fight, and you're fighting without, like you said, without like TC firing at his army, without like towers firing at his army. Like this was basically the only way to lose the game, was to do this. So you decide to, yeah, do the only thing you could do to lose the game. So yeah, that's a head scratcher right there. I mean, the fight's like going okay, but this is all irrelevant. Regardless of how this fight goes or not, that it's irrelevant. Like, and he doesn't even have pierce damage upgrade in this fight either. Holy shit, this is like beyond an awful fight to take. Like, yeah, horrible. I mean, fight didn't, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter how that fight went, if it went okay or bad. The thing is, it was a horrible decision to take that fight. Obviously, if you had pierce damage in that fight, it would have went significantly better, but you don't take a fight when you're up like 20 bills. Yeah, that just made no sense. Alright, so now this guy's building Rams. Rams like suck, which, I mean, he kind of has like his time push, so in this scenario, I guess the Rams kind of make sense. This is good where you could get if you would see this, you should research textiles, and since you're so far ahead in villas, you can afford to lose like 10 or maybe even 15 villagers. Like if you start hard diving your base and like going for like landmark win, this is where you can put 15 villagers in landmark, but then also pull like 15 more villas and just right click the Rams to kill the Rams, and you know, maybe you lose like 12 villas in the process, but you end up kind of winning the fight evenly, and you're still ahead in villas by a little bit, or you're even in villas, right? So there's times when you can kind of like use sacrifice villas, but if you're doing that, you want to have textiles so that your villagers have 50% more HP. At this point, I would pull. You could maybe pull this by his back. I mean, you can maybe raid with them since they're already here, but this is where you kind of need all your army back at home, because he's like hard pushing with Ram. So yeah, it's kind of when you pull everything back. And even right now, like, this is another horrible fight. Like, stop going to the opponent. You can let some units die here. You wanna have 15 villas and TC firing at his army. Like, why? A horrible fight to take here, right? You're just like deleting units for no reason. If he kills your buildings, like, who cares? You have way better eco. You can just build new buildings. Like, yeah, horrible fight to take right there. Alright, now, yeah, you just gotta spend the resources, you know, starting to float a little bit, too much res. This is where, and you could put archers, you could put the archers inside the TC, so the TC would be shooting, or, I mean, it was okay because his units were really far away, but, I mean, still another very bad fight. Even though you kill a Ram, this is still, like, bad. I don't know, it's, yeah. You killed 2 Rams, but it's still not worth it, really. I mean, the player had a horrible micro, so, like, you kind of got a decent trade or a good trade, but, yeah, still bad. This is where you need to build a spot. Like, you need to train a Mather, If you, yeah, okay, you have one in your army, but you need another one. Yeah. Yeah, this is the only, I mean, you can raid here. Yeah, I mean, raiding's always good. The fact that, like, you're starting to raid a lot, and I can tell this is, like, becoming your muscle memory, like, this is a very, very good sign. The fact that, you've had, this is, like, your third or fourth very good raid in the game, so that's, like, an incredibly good sign. If you keep doing that, like, you can get Conqueror 1 doing this shit, like, doing stuff like this. Quite easily, because diamond players will just completely fall apart to raids like this, as you can see, like as this guy did, losing 23 bills. So that's a very good sign. Like that's a good sign that this guy is gonna climb and could get Conquer 1, you know, in like 2 weeks. Okay, why are you going to him again? You're up like 25 bills. Why are you starting the fight? Like, what the hell is happening? This doesn't make any sense. You're up 25 bills, like 20 bills. Well, why are we starting a fight? Makes no sense. And you're not doing it with like towers or, and you didn't even like have a scout to know if your army was. You didn't have a scout with your army to know if your army was bigger or not. So you just like randomly guessed, like, oh, hey, I have an army. Let me attack. And I don't even know if your army's bigger, but just randomly attacking for no reason. I mean, fights are relevant. Again, it's just a horrible fight to take. It doesn't really matter if you win this fight or lose the fight. It's a horrible fight to take. Back up, back up. You just took like multiple fights that were awful for no reason when you had massive eco lead. Building those rant farms right here is obviously very bad. Just like building back here, like you're building them like on the front line, like as you're getting pushed, doesn't make sense. I mean, you should actually still win this game. It's pretty wild. I think like you've been making spy and he has, and it's just like I think the reason why you kind of stayed in this game for so long. Yeah, I mean, spy, you're a very good unit, so. I got way too much stone. Alright, so you're going for another raid, which is very nice. You should try to always have one scout in your army at all times, just so you can see, so you can have more vision. Scouts are really good, because then you can just see the opponent's army sooner, and it will make the game a lot easier for you, because then you'll just know, like, oh, should I take this fight or should I not? Because you'll just have vision, you know, way earlier. Because where you can just hard dive walls, right? If you see walls like this, just attack the wall. Don't like run around trying to find where an opening is. Just right click on the wall. You have like 20 units or like 15 units. You'll kill the wall in like 5 seconds or less. So yeah, don't. There you go. Yeah. But you should have a scout with, like, ideally you would have a scout. If a scout was with this army, then you would have seen these units already. Like your scout would have like this much vision. So your scout would see the entire army right now. But you don't have that vision, so this is like, oh shit. Like you would back up, if you had a scout, you would have retreated earlier. I mean, now you're in the base, so like, you have to kind of just dive Zico. You have to try to avoid the army and like run around in his base. You might be trapped, but you need to like kill those while running from the army. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, not a good trade for you there, but that's alright. So he's aging. I mean, you have a lot of res here, you kind of just need to start spending your res. I mean, age, it's just so risky building it right here, like so risky. Barracks switch, barracks doesn't make any sense, especially as like both players are now getting castle age. Like you're gonna have, the players are gonna have access to crossbows, to knights, like. Barracks don't make any sense here. You could go more into stables and archer ranges, but just age. Like you don't do a mat. You only do like a mat arm switch if you're in castle before the opponent by like a large margin. But mat arms when you're both age 3 are gonna be horrible. So yeah, the barracks dropping 4 barracks is very bad. I mean, you're still in a pretty good spot here. Basically. This was rough. So you gotta get upgrades immediately. As soon as you get the next age, you gotta get the upgrades. So this is where you have to upgrade your archer. So you should have already clicked veteran archers by now. And you want to try to upgrade the buildings in the safest buildings, the ones that won't die, because you don't want the upgrade to get canceled. You're upgrading veteran Spahi, which is good, but yeah, get that. There we go. Veteran archers comes in. You do upgrade it at this archer range, which is a little bit risky because you might kill this one. It would be better to research at this archer range. Yeah. Yeah, cancel these barracks. I'm just good. Okay, yeah, you're delaying the fight. I mean, which is good actually. You need to get your spy back though, because the fight's gonna happen right now, right? You need to get everybody back. It's kind of good. You can back up a little bit more even. You should, yeah, back up. Like, really, the spy here really out of position. This is bad. Your spy are really out of position. You could continue to back up more. Like, you want to wait until you get veteran archers. So yeah, I mean, you should really even just select these villas to run with the villas like this way, and keep backing up with the archers for like another 20, like 30 seconds until your upgrades are in, and until the spy are back. So yeah, like right now this is really bad. You're fighting like H2 archers. I mean, there's all the spear on front line. You could be like kiting this a bit better. You could just be like kiting now. Yeah, see, that's why you're not gonna get any action, but yeah, it's rough. You could, yeah, just units a little bit separated. Ah, it's rough. That came down to such a timing. Like, he barely pushed. He got H3 a little bit before you, and he pushed like when he had the veteran upgrades, and you were like 25 seconds away from having the veteran upgrades. So that was really rough. Like, you need to just avoid fighting and run with bills for 25 seconds, and then fight. And then also your army was split too much. So yeah, that's tough. Just came down to like that. But the main story before that was like the multiple fights where you were massively ahead in the economy, but you were going to him to pick the fights, right? Like, you did that like 2 or 3 times, and that's what lost you the game. Is like the fights that just made 0 sense. Yeah. But yeah, overall this is a good game. Like, I saw a lot of good growth. Like, your raids were extremely good. Like, keep doing raids like that and you'll get Conquer 1 like very easily. Because like I said earlier, diamond players will just completely fall apart to raids like that. And yeah, keep up the raids. Extremely good. Just now you have to understand, when you have the successful raids, you don't start fights. You avoid fights until forced to, right? You let the opponent come to you, and you let him fight underneath their TC with 15 Arison arrows, or you let, you know, you delay the fights long because you have this superior economy, and you're gonna outscale him. Yep, and then so that's it for that. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.